You're watching Fantasy Now Plus.
Hey everyone, welcome into another lovely edition of Drafting Best Ball with Tim and Bryan. I'm Bryan, he's Tim, and we're gonna be hopping into some. Well, I imagine a little bored today. We could try to do War Room. I know it's tougher to get a full lobby, but either way, we'll be doing some underdog drafting, some best ball drafting, and I cannot wait to dive in. Tim, how have your recent drafts gone? How you been doing?
Doing pretty well. I'm in mostly slow drafts at this point. I still have like 5 or 6 little boards to do. All of my war rooms are filled, but they're slow drafts. And then once I get all that stuff filled up, then I'll probably switch to caring about drafting some big boards before the NFL draft hits. But yeah, doing well. We've got less than a week until the NFL Combine. It's going to be a lot of movers once that hits. So really excited to see how that goes. Excited to see how some of these prospects test. But I'm psyched. Love drafting, and
Yeah.
we are here on a Thursday.
I cannot wait. Hey, John. Good evening. Hey, Meatball. How are you? Good evening. Thanks for hanging out with us on this, I think, lovely Tuesday. At least by being it's not freezing temperature anymore, so that is lovely to me. But yeah, Combine. I meant to check the date of when that started, and lo and behold, before I even know it,
Yeah, 23rd, I want to say.
There's so many people. There's always going to be one wide receiver who's going to skyrocket because of their 40 time.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for them to once again overperform at the combine. They can't what's it called? They're not going to be able to do what we all think they are, what they can do, a la Matthew Golden. But
yeah,
hey, I guess he's still got a chance. There's still time.
Absolutely.
All right. I think it's time to just hop in. I think without further ado, we'll go into a little board here. And I guess for those in the chat who want to hop in, we're going to be doing, we're going to open with a little board, the 20-second per pick contest, because just warming up and just seeing it's going to be the quickest one to get into a lobby and drafting pretty quick.
Yep.
Now I know last time. All right, we were just talking about this before hopping in, so I'm going to try to count down. I don't know how well this one's going to work. And then I'm going to count down from 10, going to hop in and see what the lobby looks like. So
from what 10. I know, there's like a 7-second count, like 7-second delay. So when we're around the 7-second mark is when you should be hitting enter, because that's about when we'll be hitting enter in real time. So wait for him to say 7.
Alrighty. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Yeah, confirm. No, I'm good. All right, so y'all got time because this one's apparently not a very active lobby. So that's good news for us, for those trying to join us, trying to snipe us, steal our secrets. And the fun part about this is I don't have the same rankings as Tim does. So now we get a little more differentiating between who goes when and where, despite the fact that we have a very similar thought process towards this game.
Yeah. Yep. And even now, there's still some players that are rising and falling that you have to be cognizant of. You have to think about the outcomes that are possible. You know, we have the evergreen legal news for Rashee Rice again. Sounds like was his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend? I think ex-wife.
I think they use the term partner, but
okay,
like
ex-partner,
long time partner.
is officially filing some type of civil lawsuit for abuse and things of that nature that we'll try and not get into too much, but safe to say that he is back in legal trouble again. But the NFL still tends to just let things play out, and then they make their judgments after the fact. And this is a civil suit. It is something to be said. So we'll see where this lands. We'll see as time goes on what the NFL wants to do with Rashee Rice for this season. He's probably going to fall in ADP. I think he's already kind of starting like one or two positions for now. He's probably just going to keep dropping, especially if things sound like they're getting worse or sound like he might actually get in trouble. It is something to note of like if he is on parole pretty much from his other arrest. So like if he messes up, like he is legitimately going to go to jail for a real amount of time and not like this 30-day sentence that he got originally. So he is very risky, but you know, that's the name of the game. Is his upside is tantalizingly high, and you have to figure out where you feel comfortable with it.
Legitimately, my least favorite part of fantasy football is when the player themselves ends up being kind of like not a good person, but man, they're really good at football.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And they're always
actually,
cheap receivers.
it just happens. This is one of those things. Sup, Jamie? Hope you're also having a wonderful evening. Howdy. Howdy, Lozimo. Thanks for joining us. We're waiting for just a few more folks into this draft. And sure enough, we're going to be talking about a lot of these picks as we do with every best ball draft.
Yep.
Has anything changed in your mind in these first few rounds?
In the first few rounds, not really. People are starting to fade Christian McCaffrey a bit more. They're just starting to get the off-season, I guess, fear of like his workload was so big last year, he can't possibly do it again, right? Like he's guaranteed to get hurt, and they're twisting themselves into pretzels, you know, February 19th about what his workload's going to look like in September. So, you know, you can fade him, but sure. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy. That'll be a nice quick discussion. Bijan.
Done. Yeah, Bijan Robinson is a really funny guy because he has also had some of his highest like usage in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And yet there's no discussion around this. I think it's just because he's so much younger at the younger age of 24 versus 30.
Yeah.
I mean, that does like it. I hate saying it because like it's so stupid, but it does affect players how they play when there's tread on your tires. Derrick Henry is just the most outlier of outliers that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, but more often than not, once they hit a certain age, like running backs just can't do it anymore. And you know, Bijan right now he's kind of trending up, like to be like the alpha running back in the whole game, like, in terms of fantasy football. So, in my mind, just the easiest little draft. I can even take this to bank, but we'll help everyone else and move this along.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's also the discussion of like Tyler Algier is probably not a Falcon next year. Like it does sound like they as a team like him, but don't necessarily feel inclined to pay him any kind of free agent contract. So there's always the off chance that no one else is interested and he'll come back for cheap, but I kind of doubt that's the case. I imagine it will be more of he's going to get $8-ish million a year for 2 or 3 years and just probably really suck the fun out of another fantasy backfield instead of this one. So it'll be interesting to see. But
as a tradition with Tyler Algier,
yep.
you're degenerate playing another underdog draft as well as this one. Look, you're not a degenerate here. You're amongst friends. You're amongst kin. You know, like realistically, why are we drafting in February? Like you're already degenerate status. Everything else you do is just icing on like degenerate cake.
Yep.
Just, you know, don't worry about it. You know, if I could draft multiple times at a moment, I probably wouldn't because I can't focus that hard. But
yeah, there are folks who do it, especially when best ball season is in full tilt and there's like 15 contests in the lobby and you just got to get through them if you're drafting volume. Like, I don't know if I can multi-table, but there's certainly people who do that and are out there. And somehow there's also people that multi-table on stream, which is certainly the most stressful experience I've ever watched, having watched other people do it. I can't imagine actually like being at the helm of doing that.
Full commitment to your picks or to your rankings, right? Because there's no shot you're not auto drafting once.
Yeah.
So you just gotta hope that your players are in order, or I guess if your queue's in order, you should be fine too.
Yeah. What is nice is if you do have multiple tabs up for Underdog, at least it will flash in your tab up top that you're on the clock in that particular tab. So there is at least a somewhat of a visual indicator, but it is certainly not a fun endeavor sounding to me. So Godspeed to y'all, but not on my watch if we can help it.
I'm not built different. I cannot do it. All right. Just a quick recap of round one. Went Bijan with us at 101. Gibbs, Nakua, JT at 4. Jamar Chase at 5. JSN, CMC, CD Lamb, HN, Genty, Amon-Ra St. Brown, James Cook. And then the second round starts with Barkley, Hampton, Trey McBride, and then Justin Jefferson at the 2-4 spot. This still feels high to me for Jefferson.
It does, but it's now becoming to the point where like it feels high for everyone in that range. So you have to take someone. Like Barkley, to be fair, Barkley went earlier than expected, but still like early to mid second feels high for him. Early to mid second feels not 100% for Hampton. McBride feels fine, but it's a tight end. So like, do you really want to? Jeremiah Love's a rookie who we don't even know where he's playing. Like Malik Neighbors is coming off a catastrophic knee injury. I think Drake London goes way too late personally. He's probably like my 13th ranked player or 14th ranked player, but I would definitely take London over Jefferson. I kind of waffle back and forth on taking Neighbors over Jefferson. The Neighbors injury does kind of scare me. It doesn't sound like it's been a great recovery so far, but again, it is February, so he does have time.
Man, I like my AS St. Brown Hampton start. I like picking late in the draft, the 9-12 spots. It does feel nice to let the draft come to you a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, thinking hats on Chase Brown and Chris Olave. Josh Jacobs is sitting here. Josh Allen is sitting here. Personally,
I honestly just like both of them.
I think we kind of just go in order.
Yeah.
I think just going Brown and then Olave is fine. Like I'm tempted to go just a third running back just because we know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Like it's probably between Bucky and Jacobs.
Let's do Jacobs. Let's shake things up a bit.
Okay. And this sadly does take us away from our lovely Tyler Shuck stack. You know,
he's back stackable.
But I mean, I joked about picking the Tennessee Titans earlier. It might just be a Devon Vele Tyler Shuck stack, as we've all dreamed of.
I don't think that's a bad play this year. Like, I think I'm starting to become unreasonably high on Tyler Shuck, but like, I went back and watched him after the season. Like, you know, we collectively as a fantasy hive pretty much were all just wrong on him. Like, we all kind of collectively expected him to more or less suck. Like, this is an old prospect that could never make the jump. Like, he is only in the NFL because he ran out of eligibility. Like, he's not going to be that good. And he's been legitimately good. Like, he makes NFL level throws, he makes NFL level decisions, and Kellen Moore is a great play caller. And that's not changing anytime soon. Shuck still has room to improve, even though we joke about him being old. You know, Chris Olave had his best season as a pro with Tyler Shuck at the helm for most of it. Like, Juwan Johnson had his best season as a pro. And they have the 8th pick in the draft. Like, they could add Jeremiah Love. They could add one of the big 3 wide receivers. They could even not worry about that in the first round and still get like a pretty talented player in the 2nd and 3rd rounds high up. So I feel good about the Saints. Like, and even like Devon Vele down the board he's fine. Like, I trust him in a creative, somewhat high scoring offense more than I would like the Broncos. And he seemed to play pretty well down the stretch. So I like the Saints. I'm very high on them, but they're cheap, and that's kind of the best part about it right now, besides Olave, of course.
Yeah, and even if they don't go running back, like say they don't pick Jeremiah Love and they don't pick any of the other running backs in the back half of that draft, I'm okay with sneaking a Devin Neal or Kamara goes in a weird spot where he's kind of in a dead zone. And by kind, I mean absolutely is. You could, you can see what they got in Devin Neal some more. I don't think they are in love with Audric Estime or Evan Hull, so I don't know if you need to worry too much. I guess Kendrick Miller still exists, but I don't know if is there anything left in that leg of his.
Yeah,
that's the tough part.
Yeah, and like, this front office is already not the front office that drafted Kendrick Miller. Like, the fact that he got run at all last year was pretty lucky, and then he still got injured and it still zonked out for him. So we'll definitely see, but
right, back on the table here for us.
I like any of these receivers, to be honest. I think Waddle's fine. I still like Igbuka. I still like Burden. I still like Tate. I have no preferences.
I'm worried about Igbuka. I like Waddle here. Oh man,
Burden opens up the possibility of a Caleb stack, just depending on what the Rome drafter ends up doing behind us. But I would go Burden, just ADP wise.
I missed my pick.
Well, darn.
So, hate to see it.
It will eventually figure out that you have Burden at the top of the queue.
You gotta give Underdog a chance to really, you gotta trip them up once in a while, Gotta keep them on their toes.
Yep.
I love Shuck this year as a second-year breakout QB, like QB 12 to 15. There's a world where he goes higher, and I think that is something folks can really take a hot take on, because he has, he does move a little bit. He's not he's not really a statue in the pocket. So there is a world where he can kind of crack even top 10. I think that's hard to do, because then you start rattling off the QBs you will know for sure end up there.
Yeah.
But NFL's weird. Fantasy football's weird.
Yeah. I definitely think he has like top 8 finish potential, and I don't think he'll ever crack the like top 15 in ADP. If I had to guess, I don't actually remember where he is right now. I just know that he goes after like pretty much every single pocket passer quarterback that's not scary. And like, I would rather have him than basically all of them.
like, so he's behind Goff, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, and this is, and I'll admit, this is the generic ADP that was given by Underdog. So this is actually not like my, tweaked rankings.
Yeah.
This is, so that's where he's at. He's right above Darnold and Mendoza.
Yeah.
That feels incorrect, especially when
Yep.
you kind of think about what he can do versus what, I'll say more to Love and Goff, what they can do. Certainly Stafford.
But like even Stafford, Mahomes, like Mahomes especially, is coming off a catastrophic knee injury. Like, how much is he going to run next year? I would guess not nearly as much as he has been. Like, Stafford had like 2 rushing yards last season total. Like, Sam Darnold doesn't run anywhere. Like, Jared Goff doesn't run. Jordan Love gets hurt every year and is in a bad offense for passing. Like, Baker Mayfield can either be great or horrible, and he doesn't seem to know the in-between at all yet. It's still very much he's a top 5 quarterback or he's a 25th best quarterback. So, like, I know it's a lot of projection with Shuck, but that rushing floor is nothing to sneeze at. Like, he is a legitimate athlete. I would say he's similar, if not more athletic than Dart. Like, he's shown legitimate top speed. He's shown legitimate ability to like make plays with his legs. He's kind of Drake May-ish in that, like, I don't know if you're going to get a bunch of design stuff for him. You might, with Taysom Hill most likely gone, you might get a bit more of the RPO quarterback keeper type stuff, but it just feels strong. Like, they're not going to bench Shuck either. They're not going to draft a replacement. They're not going to go back to Spencer Rattler. Like, Shuck has the job. He's going to score decent amount of fantasy points as long as he's healthy, and he's just too cheap to me.
I didn't realize this was going to be a Tyler Shuck show, but there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. And to your point, I almost feel he's like a Justin Herbert, only because he's a big dude. I'm pretty sure he is like 6'4", 6'5". So he kind of brings the thunder a little bit, if you will. Yeah. Don't quote me on that. Oh my goodness. All right, we're here. Oh, there he is.
Yep, definitely fan.
I would go, oh my God. We're going to take Fana here because this is just easier for us.
Yep.
Thoughts on taking someone like Dart? And only to say, like, he will give us like a solid like QB floor, and then we can keep hunting. I almost would say, as I'm talking myself out of it, probably not.
Yeah, we probably should have gone Washington Lawrence. I'm fine with Jaylen Warren, to be honest.
This is, to me, the very last of a player who should get a lot of run in their offense.
Yeah.
And now we're like, we've talked about it before, because now we're in the very awful timeshare era. We're in this undecided uncertainty era with running backs, and now we're at 4. Now we're good. To me, this is good, and then we're gonna punt running back rookies and see where we're going at the end of the draft, probably.
Even then, like, we haven't really talked about it yet on stream, but there is the idea of the hyper fragile running back of, like, you take 3 to 4 early and you're literally just done. Because,
okay,
I mean, like, to win these types of contests in best ball, you need the 0.0001% outcome anyways. So you might as well draft like you're going to get it. Like, why draft a 5th and 6th running back if you're just going to draft like those 4 are healthy all year and they're just ping-ponging two running back starts in a flex of just 15 to 20 points every single week for the most part. Like, not saying that we have to stay there. Like, it definitely feels a bit comfier if you just go 4 straight running backs, but I preferred Olave for sure over most other running backs in that range anyways. So it was just I guess we didn't go Olave, we went Jacobs, but
yeah,
still, like, there wasn't really anyone in the 4th round. Like, I think the top by ADP was RJ Harvey, which like is not a fun click at all for me. So it's a lot easier to do 4 straight on the back end of the board for sure. Front end feels less doable because of that reason, unless you get like a weird ETN or Scatabo drop. But just an idea. Hyper fragile running back. You just stick with your 4. You focus on wide receiver by volume instead of by draft capital, since we do only have 2 wide receivers through 7 rounds. Like, you may want to have 9 to 10 instead of your standard 8. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I also don't think, if there's someone we love late at the running back position, we're not going to just be like, no, we said we're doing hyper fragile, I'm not taking a running back. Like, you got to stay flexible. But definitely just my thoughts. Hey, we can talk about a Titan.
Yeah. All right. Tony Pollard. Talk about going fragile RB. He's staring at us for our 5th running back. I'm good.
He's probably not a tight. Well, I'm not sure. Like,
he's under
he's
contract.
cuttable.
I don't think it's free agent, is he?
No, but he's cuttable. Like, he has a cuttable contract, but it's like they already have the most cap space. So like, what would be the point?
Very
so
true.
He wouldn't shock me if he was cut, but I also don't think he's like a must cut for them either.
Okay. We have a lot of decisions to make here. I'm not even going to look at running back.
Is Mahomes there?
Mahomes is gone.
Woof. But how about Addison?
We'll do. I think this is fine. And then
could go Bo Nix. Like, I feel comfortable back stacking / not stacking Bo Nix. He runs enough that it's fine for me. And I think
I was checking the ADP on our boy here.
Yeah.
I think Bo Nix has a very, very unique. I took Pollard Sunday, but he wasn't my RB5. Yeah.
he sounds great as an RB5 though. Like, he's gonna start somewhere. Like, if he's your RB5, you're just done with the room. There's nothing else to think about. You're feeling pretty, and then you just focus on the other positions. But
yeah, I'm prepping ourselves a little bit here. I am learning that not having a queue makes this game kind of hard with 20 seconds, huh?
Yeah, and honestly, having rankings also does help. So it's just like, you already know what names you're looking for because they're going to be higher up in your rankings compared to what ADP might have them at. So
right,
definitely would recommend carving out time to make your own as the season progresses for sure. But we're so early that get that man off my screen.
I'm just saying, this is continual progress. Look at this, 11, 15, 23. So that's 4. That's plus 8. He's going to throw 35 touchdowns next year. Wait, no, that's not right. Wait. No, it's going to double. It's going to double. So it's going to be, so that was 8 to 16. Yeah, he's going to throw 39 touchdowns next year. You want that down here. And you want to pair him with his boy, the wide receiver 2 on that team.
I do like his boy. It's unfortunate that he is the quarterback for his boy.
5, his rookie deal was picked up. That boy is locked in for I don't know how long that contract was, or at least have they officially picked up his rookie deal? I don't think they actually have.
Because this would be his 4th year, so I think they make that decision sometime in the next couple of months.
Yeah,
once the new league year kicks in. So that'll be interesting. I mean, they kind of have to, just with everything they gave up to get him. Like, that's just basically admitting total and utter failure. Is like,
and if you do that, like you're realistically like you're kind of giving up And then I feel like as a GM, like it's kind of over for you.
Yeah. It's kind of shocking that it hasn't been over for that GM already, just considering how badly that trade went with the Bears, but he's getting a long leash, so I guess go him.
All right, just seeing what's going off the board here. John Coleman, Woody Marks, Khalil Shakir. Well, we might. Like, I'm not saying.
If
Are you kidding me? That's fair. That's fine. I'm almost just gonna go Coker and KC here. I think that's what I want to do. JCM's interesting. Darnold and I saw Darnold and Rashid as options here.
Yeah, I don't know if Shaheed would be back in Seattle, to be honest.
Oh, right, because he is still. I will take Coker here. Like as unironically, I do actually really like him as a player. I do want to shout Emmett Johnson if we feel like we want another running back.
Not here now. I think it's.
We'll wait.
Wait for Underdog to figure something out. There we go.
Yeah, and I do want to take a rookie. Why out here? Tyreek Hill, I did have to scroll a bit. I think he's probably going to fall some more, especially since he's a free agent.
So we need to have a talk about Tyreek Hill because I've learned some things that unfortunately makes me wildly less interested in Tyreek Hill than I was 48 hours ago.
Is it unfortunately more similar stories toward Tyreek Hill in the past that have steered me away?
No,
or
it's injury related.
His leg being not as healthy as we think.
He apparently just got a second LCL surgery because the first one didn't work. So we're now talking about a 31, 32-year-old wide receiver who is like almost entirely speed based and like almost entirely athleticism based, who is now a free agent, which at least semi helps that he can pick his team. And like, I think the Chiefs are still the betting favorites, but he's a free agent over 30, still going to be recovering from a catastrophic knee injury, still has the legal circus that happens on a yearly basis with him that's just hovering over his head like the Green Goblin in the mirror for Spider-Man. Like, I just that knee injury really scares me. He may not play for a portion of this season now, and I don't like his prospects outside of the knee injury to really want to be drafting him this early at this point. So, and when we get to April, May, June, and it starts to circulate more of like, hey, he kind of quietly had that second LCL surgery like in February, like his ADP is going to just plummet. It's going to be in the garbage basically. So like, he was a fun click when we were ignorant about it. I have too much of him already, unfortunately, but I do think he might be someone that we just have to pump the brakes on and accept that like his price right now is kind of unacceptable from what we know about his health.
Yeah. And already just in general, we were kind of hoping for some really, really good case scenario with Tyreek Hill when we were picking him in this 11th round, 10th round.
Yeah.
So I thank you for bringing that up because I think I missed that very, very much.
Yeah.
And it's a huge bummer.
Sure is. But there's also a chance he just wasn't going to be good anyways, but he had the luster. But like, part of me thinks that it was just going to be like DeAndre Hopkins on the Titans, where we're just like, yeah, 6th round pick. And then it's like, oh God, never mind. That was a mistake.
This was bad. This was not good.
Yep.
We're going to come up here. I give you guys credit for drafting and commenting about picks and other football topics. That's got to be hard. We're just professionals. That's all it is. You know, it's just if only.
If only.
So I'm look. He's right here. We talked about fall. Are you all right? Fair enough. You saved me a whole spiel about falling ADP and getting value when you see it.
Yeah.
Like Malik Willis, Cam Ward are both here. We are running low on like real quarterbacks. In my
fine.
queue right now, I also have Pat Bryan and Troy Franklin.
Yeah. I'm fine going Willis and Ward, to be honest.
Just grabbing both young QBs and just saying, all right, we're gonna go 3 QB.
Yeah, I think 3 QB is still good, especially with QBs that like we're pretty confident Malik Willis is going to get a starting job and play the whole year, but there is like the off chance that he doesn't. He probably gets a starting job, but finishes the whole year as the starter is a lot more of like a 50-50 coin flip in my mind. He's either going to be good and we're all going to be like, wow, he really progressed, or he's going to be Justin Fields level bad and we're going to be like, wow, someone paid him $30 million a year to do that. So Cam Ward at least is not going to get benched as the number 1 overall pick.
That is true. And I don't think he did anything to really warrant getting benched last season. Like it was a rookie season on a bad team.
Yeah.
And he had a more successful outing than Drake May did against the Seattle Seahawks.
True.
All you need to say about that.
I mean, he looked a lot better than like Bryce Young did in his rookie season.
Yeah,
he just wasn't good for fantasy, but that doesn't mean he can't be good for fantasy.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say is he at least has the frame to be, a more stereotypical quarterback. Like when you look at like Bryce Young, like he is a tiny, tiny player, but between his his ability to read the field and his ability to make plays, that's why Bryce Young has survived a little bit since his benching. Cam Ward at least has that frame and the stature to be a more, I'll just call him average NFL quarterback. Yeah. It should be enough to keep on the field.
Yep.
Chimere Dike was one of the names I was going to try to highlight. Now that we did pick up Ward, but he's gonna go here.
I do think Io Manor is just as good.
I think he's a better. I think Io Manor has more of a real chance to be a like every down type of receiver. Like DK does strike me more as a like deep shot, like manufactured type of guy because he's that we've seen in the punt returns, right? He's a pretty electric punt returner.
Yeah,
I think Io Manor is a more of like that prototypical like X type of player.
Yeah, and like when you look at the stats, like Io Manor looks a lot better as far as like a per route basis, like yards per target, like all this kind of advanced stuff. Like Io Manor is pretty noticeably better than DK, but DK just scored more fantasy points because he got more touchdowns, and the Titans were pretty low on touchdowns, as we all know. So, but I also think like Gunnar Helm is a good late back stack to pair with Cam Ward in like the 18th, 17th, 18th round, something like that. Like if you think Chig is coming back, I think he's a fine click as well. I'm hoping he doesn't, especially if you like Gunnar Helm, but that's kind of a weird situation, but I think it's totally fine to buy into for sure. Yeah, like, we joked on Blue Sky that I didn't want to talk about Titans, and here we are talking about Titans, but like they're certainly not the Saints as far as like the talent that you're excited about, but they do have some of the same qualities of the Saints, of like, especially with Dayball in there, like you feel better about the play calling for sure. You feel decently okay that Cam Ward has some level of talent that you feel okay about. And is it really just all running backs by ADP?
Tajay Spears, baby. Yeah. Allen, Rashad White, Sean Tucker. Kaytron Allen is the one I'm looking at. At least if I'm going to pick one, it's probably going to be him.
Let's see. Yeah,
It's not
I,
my favorite.
I would probably go Surratt personally out of who you have queued. There's definitely some people in the space that I follow and like respect the prospect evaluation of that are pretty high on Surratt. So I personally haven't seen it as much, but I also fully put my hands up and say that I'm not some type of great like prospect evaluator. So yeah, I've heard his name in a few circles. Like, I don't think he's a first round pick, but like he has an outside shot to be a late first if he just like tests out of the water at the combine and is running like a 4.3840, then like things might change for him. So I'm willing to just kind of see what happens with someone like Surratt, especially at what pick did we get him? 160 something?
Yeah. Can we math here? So just tell us. 169. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Surratt. This was a name that I knew going into this season because he had a really great. I must have been sophomore year or yeah, because I think he's a junior right now. He had a great previous year with Indiana with not. They had Curtis Rourke as their QB.
Yeah.
Who was not nearly as good as Mendoza. But still on the NFL roster. He's on the San Francisco 49ers.
True.
And, he was able to do it with a less than stellar QB. And, they gave him a real QB, but they also brought in Omar Cooper Jr. Through the portal, if I'm remembering the timeline of things correctly.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Once you have more talent, it's hard to put up the same numbers.
Yep.
I almost always take 3 QBs because the long season injuries do happen, especially to QBs. Yeah, not a bad shout. I know, like at this point in the NFL, I'll say like tenure, like around 40 quarterbacks end up playing every year.
Yeah.
So it's not a wild to see your quarterback go down.
It's way more than that, but at least around 40 of like names that you would ever think about in a draft.
Like I don't think you're drafting Max Brosmer.
No, but I think last year like 68 quarterbacks played a snap, if I remember correctly.
Gross.
Including Max Brosmer, unfortunately, for our eyeballs.
I know. Well, I mean, you can go by a couple teams and you're like, why? The Vikings had 9, they had Wentz, and they had Brosmer play. I don't think anyone else played for them. And then you had the Colts who had, Jones, Rivers, and Riley Leonard.
Yep.
Like, this is 2 teams having 6 players already play QB. Like,
yeah,
good.
They would have had Richardson too if he didn't take out his own eyeball with an exercise band and warm-ups.
Fractured his orbital.
We had a lot of eye injuries. I definitely think Iron Manor. We can probably wait on Helm, I think.
He would be within the next 10 picks.
Do you think we're done at running back?
We have 5 running backs right now.
Yeah.
We have I would probably do one more. So like Dylan Sampson, I know you're pretty high on. I would personally just pick him anyway, just because I think he's a little better. I know that Brown's team doesn't have a quarterback that people like, but at least in this regard, he is someone who can spring a 60-yard screen pass. So
yeah,
I'm okay here, and I'm definitely okay with waiting on Helm. He's someone like I don't know if a lot of people care about him enough. Like he is realistically within the next few picks.
Yeah,
but I think there's some other tight ends that people would just be more excited to take at this point. Like if we didn't have Cam Ward, I'd be more interested in Jake Tongas. Kittle's out for almost the entire year. He ruptured his Achilles.
Yeah.
Like Stowers, Freiermuth, though I'm pretty low on him, but
even still though, like we already have Iomanor, so like, do we want to double stack the Titans? Like, that sounds unfun to me personally.
You don't believe in the next AFC South champion to Tennessee Titans?
I would not put any earthly sum of money on that one.
Wow. Not a believer. You heard it here first.
I'm sure.
I'm just looking at our portfolio here.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not super crazy.
I do think wide receiver is the weakest, which is funny because we only have one tight end, but I still feel better about having the one tight end than all the receivers right now. There goes Helm and Tonjes. We probably need 3 tight. Who's the tight end we took, anyways?
Fannin.
Okay, yeah.
So we don't necessarily need 3 tight ends. We probably will need to start taking some shots on.
Yeah, we are double Browns, which is unfortunate. Another reason to not go double Titans.
Every year I tell myself, just draft players from good teams. And I find myself staring down Quinshon Judkins, Tony Pollard.
Yep.
That's
you got to mix them in. Just don't have teams that are only those types of players. It's definitely one more tight end, definitely one more receiver, and then there's a convo to be had about whether we take a second receiver or a second tight end out of the last 3 picks.
I think we're for sure done with running back at 6. Yeah. I think it's wide receiver, tight end.
Yeah.
I think we just go. It's annoying. Yeah, I think we just do that and just hope one of our tight ends stays healthy the whole year.
Yeah. Who's available out of tight ends?
Jake, Ingram, Gesicki. Oh, JT.
I like. Definitely not JT. you and your double terrible team.
We could have had the Bryce Young stack once again. It could have been.
Sanders was fully healthy last year and scored like 40 fantasy points total or something ridiculous like that.
It was not good.
Yeah, like he was literally just not there, basically. I have 2 very gross suggestions at wide receiver.
I'm open. Let's hear
it. Cooper Kupp.
Does he play? Like, are we playing next season as Cooper Kupp?
I don't know why he'd retire. He's getting paid oodles of money. He's on a 3-year deal and has only finished 1 year of it.
All right. I mean, I love me some Cooper Kupp. I still think he's fine. And we're in the 18th round. Sure, why not? I don't know if you've seen much of these tape of these guys. Chris Bell is awesome. He just ripped up his leg.
Yeah.
The other one would be like Jeremy Bernard.
I would go Bernard if you can get it in. Nope, that's fine.
The one time we didn't have 8 hours of delay.
I know. It's fine. I think like the thing that scares me about Bell for this specific team is that we also already have 2 other rookie wide receivers. And so it's like now we're just really starting to need to bank on like they all get good landing spots and they all play right away and they're all good. And that's a lot of things needing to stack up that doesn't feel as comfy. But I also think when you have a wide receiver room that's like relatively weak like we have, like I do think rookie shots are the way that you can make that up. So I don't think Chris Bell's a bad pick by any stretch. It does suck that he's basically has no chance to score points for you to start the season whatsoever.
Yeah. That is where I I think am showing my my rookiness, my greenness in terms of these type of best ball drafts. There's a lot, like my brain is very much in rookie fever mode. So, and not thinking too much about the fact that like this is a 0 that I'm drafting up until maybe week 6. And like, do we have time with the rest of our roster to get there? As my wide receiver 3, it's Jordan Addison, so maybe not. So,
but I mean, you know, Coker, as long as he's healthy, will probably be the wide receiver 2. Like Concepcion and Surratt should have like top 2 round draft capital, so like they're most likely going to get shots to play almost right away. Chris Bell is just more of a, everyone else out there is probably like a 3rd round pick or later, and Chris Bell is injured on top of that, but like there's no guarantee that he would have been playing right away even if he's healthy. So it's not like bad, it's just it's something that is a 0. So it's just about navigating that and like understanding the risk.
yeah, I think that really makes sense. I think we lost you, Tim, but you know what? That's quite all right, because I'll finish the thought for you. Understanding risk is something I will always be, how do I want to put it? I will always lean into risk despite my best interest. And why I do that, it's just like the way I play fantasy football in Underdog. And something that in Underdog, I should say, I need to kind of take back a bit, because while we do have 20 rounds and we're just trying to figure out players and who to pick and who we think they're going to be like the dart throws at the end of the draft, we still have to put up a starting roster. So leaning into risk in that regard, not the best, but I can't help it sometimes. While Tim slowly reconnects, we're going to step through this last round here. Ty Simpson's going to go. Interesting. There's Mike Washington as well, who's another running back who has gotten a lot of Senior Bowl buzz. I can see A-Rich eyeing that Jets job. Yeah, I mean, they'd probably take him at this point. You know, right now, in my mind, the Jets are queued up to pick Ty Simpson as their quarterback in the first round. I think that'd be a mistake. I don't think Ty Simpson's necessarily that good. Malik Davis looked like he had a lot of juice. Oh, the Cowboys running back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Welcome back, Tim.
Thank you.
I finished off the thought about, you know, understanding risk and handling that in the best ball format. And I kind of went on to say, I'm bad at that. I love leaning into risk, but that's not good for best ball. That's for me playing redraft and then being able to move on and adjust my roster, where I can't do that here.
You obviously you want some risk, but like you also have to play the game of like, what do you win when you win? The answer
Exactly.
this far down is like not much. I'm fine with Ingram because he's stacked, or Trig if you want fun.
We'll do Ingram. He's so lame, but he's necessary. It will be a half PPR. Maybe he'll do something. Like Trig, in my mind, needs to have kind of a perfect landing spot.
Yeah.
He's more of a flashy type of receiver tight end than he is like a I'm great at everything type of tight end.
Yeah.
So here's to hoping that, you know, he goes somewhere fun where we can allow him to really ball out.
Yep.
Wow. This draft might have been trash. But that's okay, because we're going to lean heavily on our strong RBs, Bijan, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs. Jalen Warren and Luthen Bird were our first 2 wide receivers off the board. I think these are fun, explosive wide receivers. Please give Waddle a real quarterback. It might be Kyler. I don't know if that'll be worth it.
You're getting Quinn Ewers and you're going to like it.
Look, I'm not even that mad. Like, Quinn Ewers isn't the worst.
He
He's
didn't
pretty
look
bad.
awful. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked okay. Like, he looked better than I would expect like a late round rookie to play. That's not necessarily good, but it's not horrifically bad. Dear God, no.
Yeah. And from what I remember, I'm pretty sure he only went late because folks were worried about the pressure of having him really compete for a starting job due to the fact that he was like a highly touted recruit into college, played well at Texas, and really only looked bad when he got injured. And so, having him hold the clipboard all season isn't really a great look, like if your team's losing as well. So I think that scared some teams off. All right, then we're gonna wrap up with Fannin, Warren, Addison, Bo Nix is our first quarterback, Jalen Coker, Casey Concepcion, the rookie out of Texas A&M in the 11th round. Then we double up on QB with Malik Wilson, Cam Ward, Kajon Allen, Elijah Surratt, Alec Iamaner, Dylan Sampson, Cooper Kupp, Chris Bell, and Evan Ingram round out our first draft here. Wow. Didn't even see anything super wacky in this draft in terms of what other folks were doing. Much like that other draft where I think 6 quarterbacks went. I think I saw. What is this button?
Yep.
Wow. I don't know what that did. Oh, it's the whole draft board. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's get out of here. Let's run it back, shall we?
Sounds good.
All right. For those who want to hop in, we'll do the same thing. Do a quick little countdown, and on 7, go ahead and hit enter. I guess we could do 3, 2, 1 if it's like really 3 seconds. Whatever. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little board time. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Only 3 spots left.
Yep.
Excuse me for a tactical water break here.
Go for it. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor going at 4 in the last draft. He has gone early in like 3 consecutive drafts for me, which feels either really lucky or like maybe a trend is starting. I don't know what about him or the Colt situation would make people want to rise on him, but it is interesting to note. I would definitely not take him ahead of Chase or JSN, but it is just kind of weird that I've seen it in like my last 3 drafts and across several days.
All right. So there was a couple of moments in our previous draft from the one-on-one that I think we can adjust. I think maybe we don't go Jacobs in that 3rd. I think we do lean on Olave, start looking towards Shuck as a QB later down, and maybe tighten up our wide receiver core a little bit more this time around. But we'll see how the draft falls to us.
Yeah, I think it's just take Bijan again, put it on autopilot, and see what's there at 24 and 25. Like, this time it might look better to just go anchor RB and we don't take another running back for like the next 6 rounds. Like,
yeah,
we'll just kind of see how the board shakes out for sure. But I think the one thing that I'll definitely say is like, I know that the inclination, if this happens to you, would be like, oh, I just took Bijan. I'm going to take Gibbs at 101. Don't do that. Just don't. Like,
yeah.
Especially if you're drafting a portfolio where you want like relatively even exposures on a lot of good players, like you're not guaranteed a bunch of 101s. So when you have the option of everyone on the board, like you should take the player that's going 101 whenever you can, because there's not a guarantee that they're ever going to fall to you in your 102 drafts or in your 103 drafts. So I know that it'd be more fun from like a content standpoint and from a a vibe standpoint to be like, well, this time we're going to take Puka. Just take Bijan. It's unless you're the type of drafter where you're truly just taking a stand and being like, I don't believe Bijan is the 101. I would take Puka 100 out of 100 times on that. Then like, go for it. That's your prerogative. But if you're taking a much more balanced, like portfolio based draft approach of like, I'm drafting in volume, I just want a lot of different combinations of a lot of different players, then don't get cute in the first round for the most part, especially in like the early 1 through 6.
Yes, I think you said it right there perfectly. Just like, don't get cute. There is a time and place for going against the grain. I think in the first round, it's just the best thing for your team is to go with the flow and go with the pack, because like, what value do you get? Like, here's the example. Like going Trey McBride here in the 12th spot. Like, you are giving up a early pick for a running back, and you're giving up an early pick for a wide receiver. Like that, you're kind of putting yourself at a mini disadvantage. Like, yes, you're at the 12th spot, so you still have a chance to adjust. But I think taking McBride here is, I think you're kind of forcing it a little bit. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I don't know why my internet just went out for 4 seconds and then came back, but I'm back again.
Wanted to give me a little podium, a little soapbox to give my point there.
It's interesting. Every time you talk, I lose internet connection. It's not connected, I'm sure.
Must be nothing.
Yeah.
Can I get you guys some advice on writing content once we're done with the podcast? Absolutely. Meatball, I believe you're in our Discord, so you can shoot me a DM, or you can at me in that, and I can DM you. We can talk about that. We can even talk about writing content here in a few once we're done with our picks. Yours wasn't that bad at all, plus you had a full year under his belt. Only bad thing was a different scheme. Yeah, but I don't know how often college players go through different schemes, so we'll see how we adjust in the pros. But the McDaniel scheme I know is absolutely different from a lot of other offenses. So hopefully it's almost easier to pick up in year 2.
Yep.
All right, Bowers is going to go, and we have our pick of a bunch of great.
Yeah, I think this
is just it.
Yeah,
I think this is kind of a slam dunk 2 picks here, and the reason being, like, these are 2 wide receivers that can blow the top off of your fantasy week.
Yep.
Always love it. No need to worry about it. And like you said at the top here, this might just end up being an anchor RB. That's fine. We have the best anchor RB in the draft.
Yep. He's basically a wide receiver and a running back, so can't feel too bad about it. And I think Nico Collins is still going too late. I think he should very firmly be ahead of Pickens. I think he should be like right next to Drake London. I think he should be ahead of Justin Jefferson. Like, I know CJ Stroud looked like Jets Sam Darnold down the stretch there, but like, he is better than whoever on God's green earth the Vikings are going to trot out next year, like almost certainly. So I still kind of trust the Texans passing game and Nico Collins' talent more than having to rely on JJ McCarthy or the husk of Aaron Rodgers or Jacoby Brissett or whatever to that extent. So we'll see. But I think Nico at the back end of the second is kind of just an auto click for me whenever he's there.
I don't think we're going to see Stroud be this poor, like be this bad next season. And maybe that's just like ultimate hope and just fairy tale land thinking. But there were so many things that kind of went against him this season that I think we still are kind of putting him a little too high up on the pedestal. That O-line is atrocious. that play calling was also atrocious. I think as a whole, like that Texas offense was just I think I'm taking JT at 1. All right, sure. If you are, then best of luck. I hope he continues to drop 30 points like he did at the beginning of the last season with Riley Leonard under center.
Yep.
But yeah, I forgot what else I was talking about. Oh, Nico and Stroud. I don't know. He's like Stroud. CJ Stroud is just a pocket passer, right? Like that is just what he is, and he has to reach a certain threshold of yardage and touchdowns for him to be relevant in fantasy football, like on a year-to-year basis. And that's really hard when your team is still so young, and like you are still so young as a QB. It's going to be like a year or two, I think, before we see like a more settled down and reliable version of Stroud. But we know that he has a really high ceiling from his rookie year. I think we'll just be hoping that the offense around him can kind of come back together so he can do that.
Yeah. Well, and the Texans have a very clear blueprint of what they need to do to become playoff contenders. Like their defense is already there. Like everything that they add to it is just kind of building on the strength, but like their first round pick is probably going to be a tackle. Like their second round pick is probably going to be a tackle. Like they know that they need to protect Stroud. They have weapons around him. They know Nico is good. They feel, from what I can tell, they feel pretty strong about their trio of Higgins, Noel. We'll see if they keep Christian Kirk. And then like people forget, like Stroud absolutely loves Tank Dell. Like he was his go-to when healthy in his rookie season. Like that's what the difference between rookie CJ Stroud and every other CJ Stroud has been. Love Lamar here.
I think this is just easy. I'm gonna leave him queued up so we can talk. We can go back to Burden, go back to Waddle. I think that's really it. Like you can get crazy with Tyson or Lemon. I don't think we do that. Or Henderson.
I was like, I kind of want Henderson just because we have more or less punted running back, but like he has upside where if he hits, he just makes that running back room just really strong all season. And like if he's like last season and still only going to have like 3 or 4 games where he's getting 30 and everything else is going to be 4, then like congrats, that's a 4th round running back. Yeah,
sounds about right.
Fifth round running back, even better. Like that sounds about right for what a 5th round running back normally gives you. So I like Henderson there. He falls pretty consistently in a lot of drafts. I think basically every Patriot falls. You know, I don't think that's necessarily correct, but well, to some extent it kind of is. But I also think that was just because a lot of them were priced too highly to begin with. Like Drake May is falling, and I think it's because of the Super Bowl, but I think he's mostly just falling to the range where it actually makes sense to draft him, and he was just ranked in the 40s when this contest kicked off, and that was just flat out wrong. Like regardless of what you think of the talent, he's just not the type of quarterback that you take in the 4th round. So
yeah, that was something we talked about too on an earlier show. May was just egregiously pushed up, but I get it. There's excitement, there's hype, and you can kind of see the blueprint for why he could be good. We just need him to do it again, and picking him in the 4th round, simply too much.
Yep.
Stroud will bounce back in 26 to his rookie year magic. I hope so, because I made some dynasty trades that are essentially saying that's the case. So here's the hoping. For full disclosure, it was a 26 first and a 26 third for Stroud. Is this a super flex? And my QBs were Cam Ward and Joe Milton. So,
I would do that.
We have the good old the Jets of this dynasty league. We gotta play the pay the bad tax to get actual players on this roster.
I mean, was it an early 26 first or just like
I did finish quite low. I think it's either 4th or 5th.
like not ideal,
Never.
but at least it's Stroud, and you didn't have to do that for like Jared Goff or someone in his 30s.
That's where my head was at. And, I guess I could have gotten him a little cheaper as the year went on, but I didn't want to risk it. I just want to get the guy. I just want to at least get another young quarterback under contract. All right. We're yapping a bit. We're coming back up here. And so, man, you kidding me? Some good QBs here still. Oh, come on. Why not lock in that Patriots backfield?
Oh, God.
I legitimately will just pick Harold Van any time that he's available in my face.
Even over Tyler Warren?
Probably over Tyler Warren as well. What are your thoughts between the two?
I don't have a strong enough feel to take him over Warren. I'm fine with it here. I do think we should go either Washington or Michael Wilson. Personally, or Pearsall.
I would pick Wilson over Washington. I really like Parker Washington, truly. I think that room is just still too crowded.
Yeah.
And Michael Wilson, he should be something better, right? Like he could be something potentially very, very exciting for fantasy. So I'm happy with this. And if I'm wrong, okay. I think this is just a normal gamble that you take in the middle of these rounds.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of these. Like Pearsall 2 is just a player that is so talented, but who is made out of glass. So we never get to see him in a full season. And I think when we do, you're going to win your league. I think like when Ricky Pearsall finally like stays on the field long enough, he's going to be a huge, huge player in fantasy.
Yeah. Especially if he can happen to do it next year when George Kittle is missing an Achilles for most of the season. But
it's the time to do it.
We'll see if they get whatever's going on under their field sorted out. Or
I took May early because I didn't like the other options in that pick. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, like May in the 5th is good enough to me. That'll do.
Well, every receiver after that point is either a mystery box rookie or Mike Evans, or like Waddle's good. I like him, but we literally just talked about he has major quarterback questions. Like I don't even know what team Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be on. Cortland Sutton is boring, frankly. Christian Watson's interesting for sure, but he has health concerns of his own of just not being able to stay healthy. So
right.
I think it was certainly in a range where it's like, yeah, Drake May feels more comfortable than anyone else right now.
And with Watson, the real wide receiver one's right here.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
Dart at 7-12 seems good. That seems pretty solid. What if they took Neighbors? Oh, the Neighbors player did not. The Neighbors took Kobe Myers instead of Dart. I don't know if I would have done that.
I mean, he did take Daniels.
Oh, they took Daniels.
But also still like unstacked Daniels. I don't know. To be fair, you can't really expect Dart to fall that far. Like 7-12 seems kind of late for where he normally goes, if I remember correctly. So, but again, that's kind of why you need to be flexible as you're drafting. Of like, if someone like Dart falls to you, just it feels weird to spend a 6th and a 7th round pick on a quarterback. But if you get a faller that you like stacked up with a receiver you already took, like you just need to take the quarterback.
Yep.
From a game theory perspective, even if you don't believe in Dart as much as like the market might, sometimes you just have to accept when something falls in your lap.
like you can sell yourself the story of Jackson Dart. I think that's why when ADP followers like get to you, that's the best thing about Underdog or about best ball. It's just, oh, this player still is coming to me. Oh, okay, well, I can just go grab Wandale later. Let me just go grab Theo Johnson later.
Yep.
Like, I can get these unique stacks like that can end up being the 0.1% chance of getting it all the way through.
Yeah.
It took Tatus Waddle over my
We are
wide
on the
receiver 2. Okay. That seems pretty good to me. Both these options, once again, kind of seem fine. Like, Quentin Johnston is pretty low as well.
What receivers
actually,
do we have?
our other receiver, Nico Olave and Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, QJ's fine. Yeah, let's do QJ.
Okay.
It's not really any great receivers to just like set up a clean quarterback stack at that point. So at that point, just take the highest ADP, and especially if you don't have a lean one way or the other.
I don't, and that's a tough thing too. Like in a previous life, it probably would have been Xavier Worthy, but seeing what happened last year where he just was irrelevant,
Yeah,
it has turned me off completely. Like Jawan Jennings and Jaden Reed are probably two other guys I would look at.
yeah.
But
At that point, I would have taken Purdy or Love with the first pick and then pulled up Jennings or Reed with the second pick to just like force the stack. But since we had already committed to Michael Pittman at that point and like kind of felt like doing double wide receiver, it was more of just no great stack options to just obviously hope for. So let's just take ADP, let's take some shots and see what comes back around to us.
Yeah. And I think this is one of the tricky parts about taking a quarterback like Lamar or Jaden Daniels or Josh Allen. It's really hard to convince yourself of picking up another quarterback early, or at least like I'll say in this round, because the amount of times that the other option is going to outscore Lamar or Allen or Jaden Daniels is so low that it feels like you're taking a pick that is only going to work when things go bad.
Yeah.
And that early is a bummer. Like that doesn't seem a good use of my time, right? So.
Yep. Now, again, if someone from that tier was like a very obvious ADP faller, then you consider it. But they weren't. They were all just kind of locked into where they're supposed to go. We didn't have any of their stacks, and you can't really backstack Matthew Stafford unless you really believe in Colby Parkinson for reasons unknown, and you can backstack Purdy, but it's basically you're praying for Jennings to come all the way back around, or you're going to be staring down the barrel of a Kittle/Tong just decision, and no thanks. That doesn't feel like a very well constructed stack to me of just like Brock Purdy needs someone to throw to. Let's just grab
Marcus Robinson down there somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the right move. Gadsden was also interesting to me, but we've already had gone Fannin earlier than that, and so if we had hated all the wide receivers, then I probably would have pushed Gadsden, but I think there was a good enough range of just take whoever.
Yeah. I will have to put a big old sticky note to my monitor one of these days to say, Mike McDaniels with the Chargers, you can go a little higher than ADP.
Yeah.
At least for guys like Gadsden and McConkey.
Yeah.
Though, I don't know. Maybe QG takes that Tyreek Hill role and they just throw him deep balls and let him be tall and fast.
They could.
Okay.
Woof.
Here we go. Here we go.
Are there any quarterbacks left? Sam Darnold.
Darnold. We got Darnold, Mendoza, Stroud.
We should take Stroud for sure. Do we want to double and grab Jaden Higgins?
I think that might be our best play. I like this a lot. I think Higgins is just good.
Yeah.
I think he, again, fell into like an issue of being a young wide receiver thrown into the mix way too early. You know, Kirk and Dell both hurt. Like they needed him to do so much that it's a lot to ask for in a like kind of a bad offensive system.
Yep.
So we'll see. Thank you. And we'll go ahead and take Higgins right away. So here we are. We are the Houston Texans.
More or less. But that's an offense that was bad that like I would rather make the bet will bounce back compared to just like betting on the Browns of like, hey, they're going to have a good offense for the first time in franchise history. Are we sure about that?
Maybe not.
Or like
having a real QB is a pretty huge leg up over anything the Browns got going on.
Yeah. It's like taking double jets and just being like, it could happen. No, it can't. No, it can't.
Taking now to be the year that everything falls together, is the craziest bet to make.
Yep.
All right, we're sitting at 6 wideouts, 2 running backs. The list will get short quick.
Yeah.
And here's hoping that we find someone down here in the bottom of the barrel that will be a weekly starter who can at least push Henderson in that starting spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're entering the range that I feel good about just hammering running back for the next 3 to 4 rounds. You know, we've got 2 quarterbacks, can pick up a third later. We have a tight end already. We have 6 pretty strong wide receivers, you know, like a good mix of upside and floor. And, you know, like you said, Henderson will fill that RB2 role at least half the weeks is what we're hoping for. And then the other half, it's like, we're going to grab some vets and we're going to grab a couple rookies and we're just going to piece it all together and see what happens. And that's how you win best ball is you just, you construct the best roster you possibly can. And frankly, that's all you can do because we have no control over how good a player is, over when their opportunity will appear, what they'll do with that opportunity, if they get it, what team they're on. Like, all of this is completely out of our control. So all we can do is just set ourselves up for the most success with construction, and how it plays out is what plays out. And there's some skill to be had, but a good portion of it is pure luck. In fact, most of it is pure luck.
Oh boy. Speaking of pure luck, the running back portion here has dried up rather quickly.
I like some names. I
Okay.
kind of wanted Mason on that. I think Kamara and Spears are totally fine. Like, totally fine.
Yeah, I think this may be the angle. Man, I wish he didn't tear his ACL because he would have been huge here.
Yeah. I also am fine with Aaron Jones. But, like, Kamara's going to have a job for at least the start of the season.
Exactly.
And that's kind of all you need is just, like, he's going to play. He's going to score 10 to 12 fantasy points. Maybe he gives you a week or two of 20. And that's all you can really ask for when you're diving into these, like, late double-digit round running backs of just, like, please, God, someone give me points.
And I'm just looking at a few of the guys, like the Tampa Bay wide running backs are the most interesting.
Yep.
Because like, you know, where are they going to play?
Yeah.
It's so like we're not even like the draft is still a month away. Free agency, the window starts what, March 1st? Pretty close.
Well, the new league year starts March 1st.
Okay.
So I think it's March 13th. Could be pulling that out of thin air, but it's early-ish March is when free agency opens.
Yeah,
so about a
we're
month.
still drafting a month before we know where any of these free agents are gonna go.
Yep.
And it's just take your shot time. It's just, do you know ball enough to say, yeah, Sean Tucker, he's gonna go to the Ravens and he's gonna take over the RB2 role and actually gonna start eating into Derrick Henry's role. What? like you're like who really knows what's gonna happen with those guys? And
Yeah.
hey, like you said, that's just best ball. You just take your shot. What happens, and you move on. and you just hope that you saw through the crystal ball and everything works out your way.
Well, and especially with these specific contests, like there are probably 30 to 40% of teams that are just dead upon drafting because things that no one can foresee right now just happen. And so you end up in week 3 and all 3 of your quarterbacks have torn ACLs and you're just getting 0 points at the position for the rest of the season. Like, you can't predict that kind of stuff. You can try and draft guardrails all you want to get you there, but guardrails don't help, to be honest with you. You know, is a quarterback that's scoring you 8 points per game going to really help you? No, you're still going to be 10th place out of 12. Like, you have to be scoring a lot of points to win in your pod for 14 consecutive weeks to be the top team in your pod. And then you need to score the most points in your pod in week 15 and the most points in your pod in week 16. And then to win all the money, you need to score the most points out of like a 500 seat final. There's no controlling that whatsoever. We have no idea. And we're on the clock. I think we should take Sean Tucker.
Maybe Sean Tucker. If it felt funny, we can take our what's it called? Penix to stack with our Bijan.
We have 2 quarterbacks.
We do have 2 quarterbacks.
I would be Penix, Theo, or Vidal personally.
I'm happy just to take Penix here.
Okay.
It's boring and maybe not the highest of upsides, but there's a world where he figures it out. There's a world where this new look Atlanta team with Stefanski figures it out.
Yeah.
And then Penix is the main beneficiary of that. And we have Bijan, who's also, for sure going to be a stud. Maybe it's a lot more passing touchdowns to Bijan. Maybe we get a lot from Penix that regard.
Yeah. But it feels weird, but like our running back room kind of has come together. Like, you've got Bijan there every week. You've got major upside in Henderson that certainly has a low floor, but it's not as low as people are scared of. Like, I think they're just looking at playoff usage and like, oh God, he's going to play 20% of snaps. Like, no, he's not. He's going to play like 50 or 60% of snaps in the regular season. And that's if he doesn't improve. He's also a rookie going into his second year. He could just wildly improve and send Ramondre to the moon. Like, that's in the range of outcomes. You've got Alvin Kamara, who's going to have a job. You have Tajay Spears, who's going to have a job. And you have Sean Tucker, who's most likely going to get paid to have a job. Could even be back with Tampa as like making Bucky's life miserable. We don't know. But he's going to go somewhere because he's shown flashes of talent.
And what I will say about Hendo again, he is in this McDaniel system, which is notably hard for rookies.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised to see him take a huge step forward next year.
Yep.
And if it's slow,
yeah,
he will be fine.
went Parker Washington over Fannin because he's locked in with Lawrence, and I don't trust the Browns offense. And I don't blame you. I will always trust the Jaguars with Liam Cohen over the Browns with literally anyone.
But Todd Monken, come on.
Sacrificial lamb, 1-year head coach Todd Monken. Sometimes coaches are hired to just literally be there for a year, knowing that they're going to get fired unless they somehow get a winning record out of a terrible team. And I think that's what Todd Monken is. And I think he already knows that, and he's okay with that. So that's how I expect the Brown season to go. I think they are embracing the tank.
Oh, thank you so much, Meatball. Thank you for hopping in. Thank you so much for having the chat be alive and contributing
super
this time.
chat. You are the first super chat.
Oh my God. My heart is full. Thank you so much, Meatball. I'm just gonna go ahead and take Cooper here, and I think it's good to have a rookie wideout.
Yeah,
Nick Singleton, if he didn't break his foot, I'd be more interested.
Brian Robinson or Torrey Horton, and we're done at receiver.
I want to go Torrey Horton because I want to be done receiver, because I think there's a lot more conversation to be had with the running backs. Yeah, again, thank you, Meatball, so much for the super comment. What's the official name? I'm blanking already.
Super chat.
Not a professional yet.
We have now technically been paid. We are professionals.
We did it. Oh my God. Gonna quickly text the boss man.
We are on payroll, courtesy of Fantasy Meatball. No, we appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who's stuck around, who's drafting with us, who's in the weeds with us. And if you are watching and you have not joined Underdog yet, you can do so using our promo code FNPLUS. That is FNPLUS. And once you play $5 in champions or pick'ems in whatever sport you so desire, you will get $75 in bonus funds that you can use however you want. You can use it on these best ball drafts. You can do more champions / pick'ems, depending on what state you're in. Whatever you want to do. So if you haven't signed up already, please do so. Use that promo code FNPLUS. Will greatly help us out, and it will get you into these rooms and help you enjoy the beauty of drafting best ball.
And you two will find out how tough it is to make a decision in 20 seconds when there's an entire season to have to play through your noggin before locking something in. But that's why we're here. It's a bunch of fun. So
it definitely was a little easier to stream when they were 30-second clocks instead of 20. But it was also hard to do as many drafts with 30-second clocks because drafts would take like an extra 15 to 20 minutes per. So I like 20. I think it's a good balance. If you don't, then take your 8-hour clocks and pick once every 4 days.
Yeah, that's the one downside of the slow clock. People will take all 8,
but not if you mass enter them all. Then you are usually drafting once every couple of hours, but you're just having to keep your eyeballs on a large amount of slow drafts and have to remember your team construction and how the draft is going every single time you enter. But
simple. All right, we're coming up here. We're done with wide receiver. We're at 8 wide receiver. We're looking at running back and tight end.
Yeah, I think we're done at quarterback as well.
Yeah.
So if you click tight end as well, and then it just shows them.
Yeah, this will probably be it for us for the rest of this draft. I don't want to pick Caleb Johnson. I'd rather pick Ray Davis.
Let's see.
So Farm Youth, Jig.
I would vote Freiermuth. I know you're not as big a fan, but he's going to have the job quite clearly. There's almost no chance the Steelers bring back Johnny Smith.
Yeah,
I like
without Arthur
Brashard Smith. Out of everyone on that list, I'm open to others if you have someone else, though.
Devin Neal I kind of liked, but he might be third on the pecking order.
And we have Kamara already.
Yeah. Brashard Smith at least has the most uncertainty and potential here. I'm happy with that. Like, he brings a lot to the Chiefs offense that they just never decided to try.
Yeah.
Instead, they just said, let's pound the rock with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt and get, 2.5 yards per carry.
Why are we drafting Giants again? They're gonna play Devin Singletary so much next year. I can just feel it. I can just feel Matt Nagy sitting in his dungeon somewhere, cooking up whatever strain of hard drugs he takes to cook up his play calling.
I said Wendy's triple stack with Bucky, Sean Tucker, and Rashad White.
That's either going to go great.
Yeah.
It's going to go great for you or awful for you. Because either
I'm
they're all on different teams or you have 3 Buccaneers running backs.
Which at some points this season, that was fine. I think, was it against the Bills when both White and Tucker went off? Was that just Tucker?
I think it was just Tucker. I don't think White ever had a game where he went off. He was just kind of fine the whole time. It was just yeah, you got 14 again every week. It's just 14, which again, fine. That's what you want in best ball.
Yeah.
But he did not give you the Sean Tucker 30 burger that he's done once per season the last 2 years.
George Holani.
He gets drafted.
Unbelievable. I get why. No Charbonnet. I'm going to humble brag. I haven't timed out yet. Man, proud of you. Well done.
Listen, we're just using the mechanic to our advantage. We know who we're going to pick, but we're going to milk it a little bit.
Do you just want to go 3 tight end?
Yeah.
Is there any last?
The running back I would call out is Jordan James. I don't know why we're getting this news / talk this early, but you already have the coaching staff talking about how they really want to use him next year.
Interesting.
Which makes me think that Garendo's just not in their plans, and possibly Brian Robinson's also not in their plans. But we have Fannin, so tight end is not horrifically bad with only 2. I like Claire. I like Justin. Is it Jolly or Jolie?
I'm saying Jolie. I feel like Jolly would have 2 L's.
That's fair.
He's really interesting to me.
Yeah. I'm good with either of the rookie tight ends or Jordan James personally.
I'm in on early coach speak. Why not, right? Plus, look, he is someone else that has a kind of a Bucky Irving type of feel to him. He's an Oregon guy. Not necessarily a big bruising back, but he probably should play in the 49ers style pretty well. So, and we're hedging the bet that CMC doesn't play all season.
And we don't know if he's good. We didn't get to see it. He just missed the whole season. It's just kind of unfortunate for him, but yeah, they seem to care / really want him as part of their game plan, which again, have no idea why they're talking about that in February, but they apparently are. So
I mean, when you have to travel to Australia, and then I think they're playing in Mexico City too next season,
Yeah.
San Francisco, you gotta start planning all sorts of travel, all sorts of game planning when you have probably the farthest travel all across the NFL.
Yep.
All right, two drafts in the book. Unfortunately, I myself need to go drop. I am being buzzed and called for something else here, but the Giants will be a top 10 team. Lock it in, frame it, and I can't wait to see this in December when they are sitting comfortably at the top of the NFC East. That would be quite something. Jackson Dart has his MVP moment.
They could be good. Like, I liked the Harbaugh hiring. I just, when it became Matt Nagy, it was just like, oh God. Suddenly I don't like their offense at all.
Their brain trust over there is interesting.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith, I think probably go back to being a T1. Yeah, probably. I think that's probably the safest bet. But yeah, so that's gonna do it. Tim, unless you want to draft again and go solo, but
I think we're good for the night.
Maybe Tucker will go somewhere and score 35 points 3 times. Look, that's the thing. That's not out of the realm of possibility with a free agent running back, a young free agent running back. So here's the hoping that Tucker does that.
Yep. He could do that and not go anywhere. He could just be the RB2 instead of the RB3.
Exactly. All right. That'll do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate everybody hanging out and chatting. I'm Bryan. This is Tim. And we thank you so much for drafting with us and hope to see you all so soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night and rest of your weekend, probably. All right. Peace.
Have a good one, folks.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.